Hey guys, welcome back to Vintage Halloween. I think this is like our 4th installment. I know, it's pretty exciting. So I'm getting around to the other sides of my room. I did the wall behind my bed with the birch trees and added some fall to that. And now I'm sort of starting to think about Halloween because, it's almost September. It's crazy how fast the year's gone, isn't it? So I want to talk about how I go about creating a Halloween display. And it can be anywhere in your house. Right here I've chosen the top of my dresser, my bookcase. And so we can talk about how I go about doing that. And it's really, really easy. You can use what you have. So like the wall and behind my bed, I want to start with a really cool backdrop. And so here I've chosen some of my favorite Halloween pieces as the backdrop. So I have this big moth from Home Goods in the center because it's a very interesting shape. Like, it's not square or circular, it's just interesting. So I thought that would be cool because everything else I have are squares or rectangles. And so it's something to offset in the center. And then I have, my little samplers, my signs from Etsy over here, all in a group, all sort of in a gallery wall sort of arrangement. And then you can put your cool things in front of it. And so here I like to do just sort of like a basic tip. When you're doing an arrangement, it's fun to have things of different heights. And so I could have 2 tall things, like this tall totem piece on this side, and then I stacked this little guy on top of this guy to sort of mimic the same height, because it's interesting because you have 2 anchors on each side. And then in the center you want to have a taller item. So this little cat in the center is a taller item. So you have the background, and then you have tall, tall, mid, and then you have sort of a series of different heights in the front. And so I have, this piece is a little bit shorter than here, but then these are the really small pieces in front. So it makes sort of an interesting layered display. And it's interesting to look at because of the different varying heights. And so that's how I sort of go about creating things in my head. But then, of course, I have to put my favorite things in here. So we can talk about that. These are like all things I bought this season, which is sort of crazy because it's only August. I know I went a little wild. But these are just some of my favorite pieces. So I have like the illustrious Joanna Parker mugs. She is one of my favorite Halloween artists. Y'all know about her. She is a folk artist working today. She licenses her stuff. This is for Transpac. So she did a series of these mugs, and these are actually sold at Home Goods Marshalls this year. So I was so excited to find the set. So I have other pieces here. This is the ghost, her other ghost there, and I have 2 more in that set. And then these moths are both from At Home, and these are like so cheap. These are like metal. They look like wood, but they're metal. And so I had to put these out here. And then this scaredy cat reminds me of the Steiff scaredy cats. These are super, super valuable, super old, super antique. And this one was like $15 at Michael's. And I'm like, this is so cool. It has that vintage feel. That's sort of my aesthetic, as y'all know, vintage Halloween. So I wanted to put that sort of front and center here. And then I just sort of mix in pieces. These 2 are from Tuesday Morning this year. And this, of course, is another Joanna Parker piece. This one's actually signed by her on the bottom. I just love what she does with pieces. This is just so cute, this little ghost container. And so I was happy to add him to my collection. And then this huge piece here is by Totems Gone By, and that's Tradition Store, ChristmasTraditions.com, and that's a huge piece. This one was sort of pricey, but I love this sort of vintage style. It's reproduction, but it looks real, so that's what's really cool. And then we have these 2 bats here, and this one here are by a folk artist on Etsy, and I can do the link below. And so those are just sort of fun pieces. And what's cool about this is she wants to make the sort of the cloth look old, so she rubs cinnamon on it, and it smells divine, like it smells heavenly. Yeah, and what else do we have? We have this here, and this is a little cute thing I got last weekend. This actually a little felt banner, and you can put up little cute jack-o'-lanterns. And we have some bats here. These are from Ross. It's my first Ross purchase. I've never found anything at Ross before. Yeah, so anyway, that is my first display this year. My new things I've got. I hope it helps y'all. I hope it helps y'all figure out what you want to do for Halloween and sort of gives you all a starting point for decorating. You just start with a backdrop, vary the heights, put your favorite stuff out there, and go to town. Yeah, so next weekend, I'm going to add a lot more fall. It's a long weekend. It'll be a Labor Day weekend, and so we'll have more time to play around, do some crafts, and things like that, and then add even more Halloween. Yeah, so thanks for joining me, guys. I'll see you next week.